Now, I got an email on MySpace, and everybody can send me emails at MySpace on myspace.com/Tariq_Nasheed. And I got an email from a gentleman, and his MySpace name is I Need Speed. And I'm giving out his MySpace name because I told him I was going to read his email on the air. So he's already knowing. So this isn't going to be like a big surprise. I'm not putting the brother on blast like I did a particular website on one of the other shows a few days ago. So I Need Speed sends me an email. And he's 17, by the way. I Need Speed is 17 years old. And I Need Speed's email says, "Yo, Flex, what's going on? I've been a listener of your show for a minute. And I say I have become a big fan, but I have a problem with my lady. She always talks about how good other guys look and stuff. And she always talks about how nice other guys are. But day in and day out, she finds something wrong and something negative to say about me when she gets mad. When we argue, I say things to her like, well, if you're not happy, then leave, because I don't want an unhappy girlfriend. Now, I'm letting this girl live with me. I buy her food. I take her here and there. I do so much for her, but apparently I can't keep her happy. People tell me to cut her off, Tariq. Everyone says she treats me like shit. However, she and my car are all I really have. Signed, I Need Speed." Now, I Need Speed, like I said, this brother's 17 years old and he has his lady living with him. Strike one. Strike two, has his lady disrespecting him. And strike three, he feels that his car and his lady is all he has. These are his words. I'm not making this stuff up. And I looked at his MySpace page and he has pictures of his car. He has a souped up car. I don't know what kind of car it is. It's like real souped up. It's green, like one of those Fast and Furious type cars. But this brother said his lady and his car is all he has at the age of 17. And I kind of touched on this on another show, how a lot of young guys, a lot of high school guys, it's kind of difficult for them to get a lot of play because your options are so limited. Because when you're that age, you really don't have a lot of what women generally want. You really don't have your own spot. Because I assume this brother has this girl living with him and his mom. You don't have your own place. You really don't have a career yet. You really don't have that much money yet. You really don't have that much knowledge and wisdom to really lace a female with. So your options are going to kind of be limited as far as dating. So whenever these guys do get a girlfriend, they're like, damn, this is the best I'm going to get. And I keep trying to tell you guys, especially my high school players and my college players, is that your stock is going to rise as you get older. What happens in high school and college really doesn't count yet. You have a whole big world ahead of you, fellas. Like the players always say, the next woman you get is always better than the last in many cases. But a lot of you cats can't really see your future. You feel me? You guys have to have more confidence in your future. Fellas, high school brothers, young Macs out there, it gets better. Don't trip. Don't wife up the first hood rat that lays up with you. And then you have to take all this disrespect. And you feel like you have to hold her down and lock her down and all this nonsense. Because in I Need Speed's case, when a woman His woman is talking about how good other guys look. Fellas, don't ever let your woman play no nonsense game like that with you. That's a blatant form of disrespect, and women do that to kind of test you out to see how far they can go with you. When they start talking about how fine another dude is, check them on that, fellas. That's a sign of disrespect. They know what they're doing. They're trying to touch a nerve with you. They're trying to see how far they can get with you. They're trying to see how far they can push the envelope with you. Blatant form of disrespect, especially when your woman is speaking about specific guys. And this is for men and women. If you're dating somebody and they have a male or female friend and they keep bringing this other person up casually in conversation all the time, in most cases something is going on between them. Like, fellas, if your lady is always talking about one of her co-workers, some guy who she works with, oh, Donnell is crazy. Oh yeah, Donnell was telling me about this and that. Oh, I saw Donnell. When they start talking about Donnell or whoever is at that job all the time, her little male friend, something is popping off. The Captain Save-A-Hole role will not keep a woman around, and that's what you're trying to do, brother. You're trying to save her. For whatever reason, I don't understand why this young woman is living with you, because she's your age and she's not at her own folks' house. So it's some nonsense going on with this girl's family. There must be some kind of rebellious thing going on. And you're taking this woman on as a charity case, which a lot of guys do. A lot of guys play the Captain Save-A-Hole role. They find these women who are charity cases. They find these women who are rebelling against their families. They find these women who are just badasses, who just never have themselves together. Teen mothers, they done had kids at a young age. They done got jumped on by 2 or 3 of their boyfriends, and then you Captain Save-A-Hole brothers kind of ride in on the sunset trying to help these women out. And fellas, you can't do that. That Captain Save-A-Hole role, that's getting played now because it's very dangerous. There's a lot of women who just don't have themselves together. You have women out here who just have flawed characters, and you have to charge that to the game. The biggest problem that a lot of guys have with their women, they choose these losers, and there are a lot of women who are just losers. And sometimes you gotta accept that, man. I be here, guys send me emails talking about these problems that these women are having. Oh, she was jumped on, she had a drug problem, and I feel sorry for her. Damn that pity macking. We don't do pity macking. As a Mac, you stand up on your own 2 feet and you stand up strong, and the women who deal with you have to stand up strong. Strong Macs choose strong women, because if you're slipping, you're going to need a down-ass female to be right there to have your back. If you got like some charity case, loser-ass hood rat who can't bring nothing to the table, who's just bottom feeding that you're carrying on your back, if you slip, you going to hell. So have enough confidence to choose a woman who has her stuff together. Leave these charity cases alone, fellas. Because guess what? At the end of the day, when you help these women, like my brother here is doing, I Need Speed, you help these women and you break your back and go out of your way to help them, and they still don't appreciate what you do. They take your ass for granted. You got this woman living up in your house, you taxiing her around all over the place, and she's talking about other dudes? A lot of women like this have flawed characters. You have losers who they're losers to their soul. There's nothing you can do but charge them to the game. That's one of my favorite terms. Charge them to the game, player. This ain't the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This is the Break-A-Bitch Foundation. You understand me? No charity here, player. And don't sit up and think that your car and this broad is all you have. You got to be out of your damn mind. There's 4 billion females on the planet Earth, player. There's a female turning 18 every 24 hours. It's an endless pool of women. You got to campaign, bro. You guys, you brothers, you potential Macs, you got to get your mind out of your hood. The hood puts blinders on you. There's a vast world out there, fellas. It's not all about what happens in that 4-block radius that you grew up in. There's a big world out there, fellas. Expand your mind. There's a lot of women out there. Get out there and travel, man. Get you a Greyhound bus ticket. Get you a plane ticket. Get a train ticket. Get out there and campaign and see what's out there, fellas. So you won't be sitting up here belly aching over some hood rat. And I've seen I Need Speed's girl. His female is on the page and she's so not a dime. When I saw the picture, I asked him, I said, bro, you gotta show me what a picture looks like. He showed me the picture. And this woman looks like a Muppet with Down syndrome. I hate to go there with you, I Need Speed, but this is tough love, bro. You can do better than that. You're not even a bad-looking little dude, homie, but your lady, you can do better than that, bro. Good grief. I'm tired of hearing about you young cats out here in the hood, damn near about to commit suicide over a woman who looks like a burnt-up Smurf. You can do better than that, player. So I Need Speed. Charge that woman to the game. Get your self-esteem intact. And go out there and campaign for some other women. Get in your little green car. Put some gas in it. And go out there campaigning. I didn't even catch what city you lived in. Now, you know, as a matter of fact, I think he lives in Atlanta, which you need your ass kicked if you're in Atlanta belly aching over one female who's not a dime. You got to be out your mind. Atlanta is crawling with women. You can get a woman in Atlanta by accident. Atlanta's crawling with women. I get women in Atlanta at the airport, just passing through Atlanta. I don't even touch soil. And I'm acting women at the airport. They choosing at the airport. So there's no excuse. None. So charge that woman to the game and you keep on campaigning. Be a man. Man up about yours, homie. Which brings us to my college players. A lot of my college Macs out there, they have the same mentality. They don't think they can do better. They're happy with anything that looks their way. Now, fellas, when you're dealing with college women, when you go off to college, you have to understand the mind state of the women. When you go to college, fellas, you're dealing with a lot of women who are getting their first taste of freedom. You're dealing with a lot of women who are getting their first taste of adulthood. So when women go to college, a lot of them go buck wild. Also, when you're dealing with college women, you're dealing with women who are in the height of their attention whore stage. And I always talk about the attention whore stage when women are between the ages of 18 and 22. Women are in a major attention whore stage where they just have to be seen. They get a psychological rush and psychological satisfaction on being seen. Attention for a woman is the equivalent of an orgasm for a man. Attention is very important. Just like men go through a player stage, women go through that attention whore stage. And a college woman is right in the height of that. So you have to take that into consideration when you're tailoring your game. Now, there are different angles to use when you deal with college women. And don't get thrown by the fact that a lot of college women have boyfriends. The average college woman will have a boyfriend somewhere. That's a given. But that's a non sequitur as well. Because a lot of times these women, they're dating the guys that they grew up with. Because they really don't have too many options either. Because they don't have a way to go out there and be seen. You know, they're stuck in the house, they're stuck at school, they're stuck in their little 4-block radius, and they date the guys who are closest to them. But when these women go off to college, they start meeting a better quality of guys. They start meeting a more diverse group of guys, and these women want to explore that. And women date like this. They wait until they meet another dude in order to break it off from the next guy. Like guys, we just break it off, then we play the field for a minute, then we go get another female. Women go from guy to guy to guy to guy. That's how women generally date. They won't admit this, but that's how women generally date. They like to have something set up before they cut off the old guy. So the majority of college girls have boyfriends at home. So if a woman in college says she has a boyfriend, don't even trip on that. I know when I was doing the MTV Maid special this spring, we were down in Florida during spring break, and every woman we met had boyfriends, but that didn't mean nothing. They were still down to do whatever. They were down to do whatever. They were setting it off. So don't let that throw you off. Now, when you meet college women, you have different types. You have the bookworm college girl, you have the partying college girl, and you have the freak bitch college girl. Now, the bookworm college girl, those are the ones that you really want to get at. You want to get at the bookworms, the girls that are there for their academic learning. Those are the cool ones. Those are the low-key ones. Those are the girls that's really focused. You want to get on those. Those are the ones that are easier to get at. You can spit at them because all they want is good conversation. And if your game is tight, you can roll with them. Now, the party girl, those are the top-notch attention whores. Those are the main attention whores. Those are the ones that's going to every party, going to every frat house, doing the girls going wild videos, pulling up their bras and pulling up their shirts, showing their titties. Those are the wild girls who just want to party. Those are the wild ones. You kind of want to stay away from them because these girls are really susceptible to peer pressure. These women are followers. They want to follow what the in crowd is doing. Got it? And then you have the freak bitch. Now the freak bitch, you want to get at her, but the thing is, she's highly in demand. So it's kind of hard to find her because she's usually in somebody's dorm room sucking dick. Or eating pussy. See, a lot of girls go to college and they become sexual freaks because they had a lot of restraints at home. A lot of girls have their first major sexual experiences in college. A lot of girls have their first bisexual experience in college, so they go on that little tangent for a minute. A lot of girls have their first train ran on them in college, so they go on that for a minute. Some girls want to get trains ran up on them every few weeks. You ask some of the college guys, ask some of them frat boys, they know what I'm talking about. And that's another thing. You got competition from the jocks, you got competition from the frats, but don't worry about that. You know, just keep your game tight, but know who your enemies are. Not your enemies, but your opponents are. You got to know the people that you got to compete with. And watch out for them Q dogs. I got a lot of buddies who are Q dogs, and them niggas will take your bitch and run all types of trains on her. Them brothers, they got game. Those are my dudes. But the freak bitch, if you can get her, you spit good game at her, you got her. So when you step to women in college, there are two angles to use: the study angle, the let's kick it angle, and the party angle. Now when you get the academic girl, the girl who's all about learning and reading, you step to her like, hey, I need help with my economic class, and you know, I know that you take economics. Let's get together tonight and study. You can use that angle. And with some of the girls who are more low key, you can just be like, hey, let's kick it. Not let's go out, because what you don't want to do, you don't want to try to wife nobody up on a college campus. You don't want to try to wife up a college girl. You don't want to try to be that Captain Save-A-Ho brother, because see, already these women have come from boyfriends back home, so they already have like a square boyfriend at home trying to wife them up. So you don't want to use that angle. These women are at their attention whore stage. They don't want to be wifed up. They don't want to be smothered. They don't want a guy trying to hold their hand every 24 hours. They don't want that. So don't try to play that angle. Don't try to play the lovey-dovey angle. Just play it real cool. Let's kick it. Let's study. And if you get with a partying type of girl, you gotta say, hey, let's come to my dorm, let's get some drink. I got some weed and hypnotic. That's how you gotta come at those women. And you gotta really focus and tailor your game. And your game has to be real thorough and specific to the girl. You can't step to the partying type girl on the let's get down and study level, because she's going to look at you like a nerd. The partying girl don't want to study. She wants to get her party on. So hey, tell I got some weed and drink in the room. So they're always down for that. So you really got to be specific about your game. Also, your game depends on what part of the country you're in. Like on the West Coast, we have a lot of attractive women on the West Coast. We have the most attractive women on the West Coast. And a lot of women on the West Coast want to use their attractiveness to get over. So what these women do when they go to college, they take what I call decoy classes. A lot of women on the West Coast aren't really serious about school. They just go to school until Captain Save-A-Ho comes along and gets them out of school. These are the only women who are looking for Captain Save-A-Ho. As I said earlier, most of the women don't want a Captain Save-A-Ho. These women do. They want somebody to come along and be like, okay, I'm going to get you out of school. I got you. They're just taking classes just to be doing something. If you talk to women in LA, on the West Coast, according to them, all of them in school. You know, they get that little student loan money, go down to Melrose, get a bunch of fly gear, and take one class for 2 hours a week, and they're in school, quote unquote. Now on the East Coast, the women there are major hustlers. The East Coast have a lot of female hustlers. So with the East Coast girls in college, you have to really step to them on that study level. Because these women are on the grind. They're trying to get their education on. East Coast girls are real big hustlers. Now in the South, Southern schools, those are party schools. They party their asses off down south. That's when you break out with the Patron and the hen dog, because they really want to get their party on. And if you can get your ass to Atlanta, that's the spot. I was talking about Atlanta earlier. Atlanta is the spot as far as college towns. And this is why I'm tripping that a lot of these guys are having problems getting girls in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for a few years. We would drive over there to Spelman and Clark and just get out the car and just start picking them out. You, come here. It was that easy. The women that in college in Atlanta, they're down. You can get them by accident. And I got a lot of cats going to school down there in Atlanta that I don't know what you cats are doing, and I don't know. Atlanta probably has changed since I've been there. It's been about 5-6 years since I've been to Atlanta. I don't know if it has changed that much, but damn, I can't imagine it has. The women in Atlanta are cool as hell. The ones in college, cool and fine. See, Atlanta has the best all-around women. Like on the West Coast, LA, we have the finest women. As far as looks, LA women have them beat hands down. As far as hustling, the New York women, the East Coast women, they got it locked down. Can't nobody hustle like a New York bitch. They be hustling. But as far as like all around, as far as looks, education, sex appeal, and hustle, the women who have the whole package are Atlanta women. You go down there and meet a 23-year-old female who lives in a 3-bedroom house by herself with a good job. You have women who are just all around the bomb. So I don't know what your problems are down there, guys. You guys got to get out there and start campaigning in the right places, or I got to get down there and see what's going on. So that's basically my rant on College Mackin.